Welcome back to the shop. I'm Greg from Masterson's Car Care, and we're back with the BMW project, and today we're going to show you how to properly clay bar your vehicle. Now, if you've never clay barred a car, clay barring is one of the biggest secrets in any detailer's arsenal. Now, when you clay bar a car, it really makes the car silky smooth and ready for any type of wax or sealant that you're going to put on top. Now, if you've ever felt a car that's silky smooth like glass, that means it's been clay barred, because clay bar is designed to remove all the embedded contaminants that stick on the paint. So if your car feels rough, it's probably overspray, rail dust, brake dust, contamination from the environment and pollutants that land on the vehicle, and metal particles that may be in the air and then land on top of the paintwork. Now, this BMW feels rough. Let's see if you can hear this. You hear that? That is the rough sound of overspray on the car. Now, we just washed this vehicle, so it's completely clean, but it still sounds and feels rough. So how are we gonna do that? How are we gonna fix that problem today? We're gonna use the clay bar. Now, right here I have the clay bar. Now, this is one of our Masterson's Ultra Blue clay bars. This is a medium grade clay bar that's gonna be perfect for the job. We're gonna show you exactly how to use this. You can pick this up on our website, mastersonswax.com, and we're gonna show you exactly how to get that smooth as glass feel. Now, what clay bar is this is clay bar. We'll get you up on close to it. A clay bar is actually a synthetic bar that's actually gonna pull off all the dirt and grime off the paint. Now, this is a super sticky bar. If you drop this on the ground, you cannot use it again, but it's designed to take off all the overspray and contamination that's stuck on the paint. Now, you need to use a clay lube with your clay bar, and for this job, we're gonna use our Masterson's detail spray. Our detail spray is designed to be used as a clay lube as well, so we're gonna use this to get the silky smooth feel. Now, you cannot use the clay bar dry on the paint. It will stick to the paint. It doesn't work like that. You need a lube. We're gonna use the detail spray as the lube, and after you after you finish the clay bar, you need to follow up with a Carnauba wax. So we have our Masterson's original Carnauba wax. We're gonna use this on the whole car. This is what you need to put on the car to protect the vehicle after you clay barring it, because clay bar is gonna take off any sealant, any wax, everything off the paint. Now, I personally like to protect the car a little bit better after you clay bar, so if you wanna get even more protection, go ahead and use Masterson Shield paint sealant. You can clay bar the car and then put the paint sealant on. The paint sealant is gonna protect the car for up to 12 months. So I completely recommend to use this on the car and then top the Carnauba wax for extra shine. So I'll let you know what kind of cars need to be clay barred. Old cars, new cars, and your car. All cars need to be clay barred. I've even seen brand new cars that come from the dealership that need to be clay barred. Because what happens is anytime your car is sitting outside, environmental contaminants and brake dust and overspray can land on your car and make it feel rough. So even if you have a brand new car, imagine you bought it in the United States and it was built in Detroit and then shipped to you. It was probably shipped on a train, loaded on trucks. It sat outside for inspections. It might have sat outside at the dealership for a long time, and that's when it starts to get that rough feel. So even if you have a new car, you still need to clay bar the car. I've seen people buy brand new cars and it needs to be clay barred. This car has 100,000 miles on it. We don't know if it's ever been clay barred. It feels pretty rough, but we're gonna give it a good clay bar job to make it feel good. Now, you can clay bar anything that's painted, shiny, or clear. So it's gonna work on the painted surfaces. It's gonna work on headlights, so we're gonna do that as well. We're even gonna clay bar the glass. We're gonna clay bar this whole vehicle. So to know if your car needs to be clay barred, you can go ahead and give it the plastic bag test. Now, go ahead and just take a basic plastic bag and come with me. Take the plastic bag, put it on your hand, and check this out, guys. Go ahead and feel the car. This feels really rough. I feel all the contamination on it, and now I can actually start to see the little bits of contamination, because when you have your regular hand, it feels rough, but it doesn't feel as rough as it normally is, because all those contaminants are microscopic. And when you really put your hand inside a bag, you really feel that rough feel on the paint. You guys can probably hear that on the camera. It feels completely rough. And when I get in close, I can see little contaminants on the paint. We're in a nice part of the shaded day, so we can easily see all the contaminants on this paint. So I'm gonna put my plastic bag down. We know this needs to be clay barred. So let's go ahead and prep our clay bar. So we have our clay bar right here in the case. What I'm gonna do is I just wanna pull out a little bit of the clay bar. The reason it's in this case is because if a clay bar falls on the ground, it needs to be thrown away. So it will pick up everything that's on the ground. So let's just take a little bit of the clay bar out and let's prep it for the job. So what you wanna do is take your clay bar, and I'm gonna heat it up in my hand. It's a little bit cooler part of the day today, so the clay bar is a little bit hard. The clay bar in the cold will get harder, so if you're doing this in the winter months or it's not warm outside, you might need to hold the clay bar in your hand for a little while. There we go. Just the heat of the hand relaxes the clay bar. There we go. Now I'm gonna take the clay bar and I'm going to spread it out into a light disc. Now this is gonna be what I'm gonna use to clay bar the vehicle as we go. There we go. Let's actually make it a little bit smaller. This is about a good size I like to use. I usually like to put it at the tip of my fingers. Now let's get our lube ready. So we have our Masterson's detail spray right here. This is what I'm gonna use as my clay lube. Let's shake that up. And what you're gonna do is saturate the area completely. Completely saturate the area. Now you wanna be very generous with this clay lube. Spray it all over the surface because you want a lot of lubrication. Now let's take our clay bar and let's start gliding it on the surface. Now what you want to do is you want to go up and down or left and right with the clay bar. And you want to scrub the paint and add more lubricant as you go. When you go back and forth with the clay bar, you're going to feel a little bit of resistance. And then the clay bar all of a sudden is going to just glide over the surface. This is a super high quality clay bar you can pick up on our website, mastersonswax.com. And you just want to scrub the paint. Because there's these little specks on the paint you can see on the silver. And as I scrub it with the clay bar, they're starting to go away. There we go. I'm going to change hands really quick. Look, I'm already getting a lot of dirt inside of this clay bar here. So now that I have the surface really lubricated, I can just use my whole hand and scrub the paint. There we go. Look how once you have the whole surface covered, you can just completely start clay barring the whole area. Over here, I'm going to spray a little more lubricant. There we go. Now you might need to go over the surface several times as you clay bar. Reason being is because the clay bar needs to work the surface. And you don't want to use too aggressive of a clay bar. They make different grades of clay bar. This is a medium to light clay bar. You could use a heavy duty clay bar, but that could possibly scratch the paint. This car is in great condition, so we're using a lighter clay bar. Look how we're getting all this dirt, these runs of dirt right here on the edge. That is all the overspray and contamination coming off the paint. Now what you want to do is fold your clay bar in and re-knead it. And then we'll keep clay barring. As you do the whole car, you want to keep folding in your clay bar. Refold the clay bar. But be careful, do not drop the clay bar. Be very careful with it. That's why you have a big clay bar in a case and you keep it in the case over here. It's because you do not want the clay bar to fall on the ground or get contaminated, because any surface that the clay bar touches, it could possibly pick up contamination on the vehicle. So you want to keep the clay bar as clean as you can. And you can even see in the detail spray, look at the detail spray. The detail spray is looking dirty. That's all the contamination coming up off the paintwork. And this car is silver, so it hides a lot of contamination, but seriously, there's a lot of contamination coming off this, and it's already starting to feel much better as I really scrub the paint. Don't be scared to scrub the paint. If you're using the right lubricant and you're using good detail spray, like our Masterson's detail spray, you're gonna be able to really clay bar the car. There we go. And don't forget to go all the way to the edges. The clay bar is actually underneath my hand, just so you can see my hand's completely clean. And that way I can actually feel with my hands. I like to actually put the clay bar, have a smaller clay bar, and then I keep it in the center of my hand, and I use my hands on my palm and my fingertips to feel, okay, here's some contamination over here. I can use my hand to feel where the clay bar is gonna go. Because we got this nice lubricant on there, my hand can just glide over the surface. Now I want you guys to notice as I'm doing this, I'm not going in circles. Never go in circles with the clay bar, ever. Always go in lines. because you don't want to take a small piece of rock or some type of contamination and create swirl marks. If you ever may happen to have paint and you have a piece of contamination that could come in contact with the paint and scratch the paint, at least it created a line. Lines are much easier to remove, but from my experience, as long as you're keeping the surface very lubricated and you're doing this in a clean environment and you just wash the car properly, then you should be good to go. We washed this car earlier today with our Mystic Snow Foam, and now this thing is completely clean. Okay, there we go. We got our clay bar looking good. I'm gonna dry the paint now and inspect the paint. What I like to do is take my clay bar, and I like to just rest on top of the case. Now I'm gonna take one of our Masterson's original microfiber towels. We'll rip off our tag. You can pick these up on our website, mastersonswax.com. I just like to use a basic microfiber towel and just dry the surface. There we go. Just dry it. I'm already feeling that this paintwork feels much better. We're gonna actually do a plastic bag test on this paintwork after we dry it off. There we go. We'll flip this towel over. It's gonna be perfectly fine to use a lot of detail spray. I like to use a lot of detail spray when I'm doing clay bar jobs. You can dilute your detail spray as well, because you really want to make sure that the whole car is completely lubricated when you're using the detail spray. So don't be scared to use a lot of detail spray or dilute it down. Also, some people ask, can you use soap and water? We don't recommend at Masterson's Car Care to use soap and water, because what happens is the soap can break down the clay bar, and then your clay bar can fall apart in our hands. If you notice, our clay bar is still in great condition. It's been soaked in our detail spray. Our detail spray is full synthetic. This clay bar is gonna do the whole vehicle. It's gonna do the glass, gonna do the paintwork, it's gonna do the headlights, everything. So there we go. Okay, we got this looking good. I'm gonna inspect it now with my dry hand. Wow. Wow, all I gotta say is, wow. Can you guys hear this? Hopefully we'll get in. You guys heard earlier, I'll go to the other side of the hood and do this, but look, you can't hear anything. I mean, this paint is like smooth as glass. I'm gonna come over to the other side so you guys could hear this. Here's the other side, clean paint, clean car. I'll get really close to the microphone there. You hear that. You hear all the dirt, all the brake dust, all the contamination that's on the paint, and it's pollutants, because we live in an industrial area over here in Los Angeles. So we get a lot of pollutants. So I'm gonna let you guys hear this. This side of the hood is untouched, just washed, and has all the dirt off it, but listen to that, okay? Listen. Now I'm gonna come over to the other side. Okay, I'm gonna clean my hand just so it has nothing on it. Wow. Listen, you don't hear anything. It feels smooth as glass. That's insane. Wow, that's the detailer's trick right there, is we took off all the contamination off the paint. The paint feels like smooth as glass, and there's so much more reflection as well, because we took off so much dirt, we took off so much contamination, that now all that stuff's off the paint and it feels so smooth. So this is gonna be a great job once we finish it up. You guys can physically hear and feel the difference. Remember, if you wanna know what it feels like at the end, just go ahead and take your plastic bag. Let's do it at the end. Yeah, it feels so much smoother. This is amazing. And this is incredible, the biggest incredible. With your regular hand, it just feels like a glide over. You know, with the bag, you actually start to feel all the little rock chips as well in the paint. This car has 100,000 miles, so anytime there's a little rock chip, you're gonna feel it with the bag. But with your bare hand, man, that's incredible, guys. Now, after you clay bar any type of vehicle, whether it's a car, a motorcycle, a truck, even an airplane, you can clay bar anything. You always want to make sure that you apply some Carnauba wax after you do that, because you need to protect the vehicle. Right now, there's nothing on the paintwork. There's no wax, there's no sealant, there's no polish, there's no glaze, nothing. So you need to protect the paintwork to ensure that your vehicle stays protected. So after you clay bar the car, make sure you either put a coat of paint sealant. This is our Masterson's Shield paint sealant, or you could put your Masterson's original Carnauba wax. These are both great choices to protect the vehicle and ensures that it stays looking great So now you guys know the full way to clay bar any type of vehicle. Remember, if your car feels rough and you want to make it feel smooth again, the best way is to use a Masterson's clay bar. Now this BMW is going to feel super smooth. We got to do the whole vehicle. Remember, you can clay bar the glass, the headlights, the tail lights. You can even clay bar the wheels, whether they're chrome, aluminum, painted, powder coated, any type of surface that's painted, shiny, or clear, you can go ahead and clay bar. I'm super impressed on the way it came out on this BMW. This BMW has over 100,000 miles on it. It's from 2007. Who knows when it was clay barred? We picked this car up from a used car lot just to do some cool detailing videos on to show you what happens when you buy a used car. What do you do when you have a used car? How do you make it look new again? And this is one of the biggest steps we've done so far to get your car to the next level. Now, if you want to pick up a Masterson's clay bar, we have one right here. In our case is our blue clay bar, one of my favorites, or our Masterson's detail spray, the perfect clay lube for any type of detailing job. Go hop over to our website, mastersonswax.com, where you can get everything you need to get your car looking great, where you can also get our Masterson Shield paint sealant and our Masterson's Carnauba wax. These are both amazing choices to finish off the car, because after you clay bar the car, you gotta put on a wax, you gotta put on a sealant, you need to put on some protection to make sure that the car looks good. Now I'm gonna get clay barring the rest of this vehicle. I can't wait to see the results. If you want to see more videos with this amazing BMW, make sure to click that subscribe button, and don't forget to click that notification bell so you guys get all the Masterson videos first right when they release them, and we throw them out every week just for you guys, 100% free on YouTube. And thanks a lot for viewing, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to click that subscribe button. Check out all the videos we have right here on our channel. I got a lot of work to do. I'm gonna get going, and always remember, this is Greg from Masterson's Car Care. Always remember, have fun, stay clean, and keep on detailing.